Hakioi listeners, let's learn sumo. I'm Clayton. Welcome to the podcast. Don't forget to join me on X or Twitter at Let's Learn Sumo. Also on YouTube, where I restream this podcast at Let's Learn Sumo as well. Don't forget to tune in to Sunday morning sumo show for the live stream of Makuchi with some English commentary. I join them on occasion. Not sure if I'll get there tonight on day 15 due to some family commitments, but we'll see how we go. So, day 13 and 14, a huge day of sumo at the Ozeki level, and a grandstand finish is set for tomorrow night. Onosato, the Shin Ozeki, he is out of the yusho race, but had to face fellow Ozeki Kotozakura last night, day 14. An easy win to go, 13-1 over Onosato, who already has Kachikoshi to round out his first tournament as Ozeki. Not a fantastic tournament, but a Kachikoshi at Shin Ozeki is an achievement. Final day of day 14 produced a huge win for Hoshoryu Suridashi. Frontal lift out. Is there anything more embarrassing for an Ozeki to lose this way? Hoshoryu is also 13-1. Shamed Kirishima by getting inside off the tachiai with a double rear grip. He then lifted Kirishima off the ground with his legs wiggling like a naughty toddler. Hoshoryu then walked him out of the ring. Wow, we'll come back to that a little bit later. So a grandstand finish for day 15. Can't wait for it. Let's have a look at day 13 and 14 and how we got to this position. Hoshoryu, he faced Onosato on day 13. Onosato looked not in fantastic form, a little bit immature in his plans and tactics, but he gave the veteran Hoshoryu a little bit of a scare with a last-minute move to save Hoshoryu. Really good touchy-eye as Hoshoryu threw some big Nodowa and Sapari at Onosato. Then Onosato drove back with his own Nodowa and a bit of a chest thrust as Hoshoryu retreated to the bales quickly. He was up on the Tawara. Onosato was fully committed, and just as he came in, Hoshoryu just jinked a little bit left on the bales, grabbed one of Onosato's arms and gave a hard yank, which sent Onosato flying over the bales. Totari arm pull. Hoshoryu's foot was millimeters from the sand on the Tawara, but no disturbance on the sand outside the bale. No mono-e, 12 wins for Hoshoryu, Kachikoshi 8-5 for Onosato at least. That left the pressure on Kotozakura in the last fight of the night with chaser Takanosho, who was one fight behind the Ozekis, still mathematically in it, but unlikely. Takanosho, he went in hard this time, drove Kotozakura back, neither with a great grip on the belt. Kotozakura tried to turn Taka over with a body grip, but he just didn't have a great hold. And as Kotozakura withdrew and Taka kept looking for the belt, Kotozakura got a left hand on Takanosho's belt at the last moment and pulled Takanosho over Uwatanage underarm throw at the last moment, sent Takanosho sprawling. 12 wins for Kotozakura, Takanosho 10-2 behind the leaders. Kirishima, he still had two matches to play with as he was 6-6 against Goniyama. Goniyama came out hard from the tachiai. Kirishima tried to grab his arm, but it's too fast, and Goniyama followed it up and over the bales. No second plan there for Kirishima. It was pretty poor sumo, to be honest. That left him 6-7 and on wood. Goniyama 10-3, two behind the leaders. Our other chaser in the pack, Abi, he faced off with Takeru Fuji, a known power thruster driver. Having only faced Takeru Fuji once before and lost, Abi was not going to give the power thruster a chance again. A big hanker to the left and a hand on the back of charging Takeru Fuji. Takeru Fuji did actually see it, and he did just jink right a little bit, but it was all a bit too late, and he went flying face first. Hataki Komi slapped down. Takeru Fuji may have expected to fire up Abi with a barrage of Nodowas instead, because that's what he's really done this time, but not to be. Abi went to 10 wins there, two behind, and set up for a real pressure night on day 14. So let's look at day 14. Abi, the chaser, he faced off with Atami Fuji, a fierce Nodowa attack, and Atami Fuji just went back and over under pressure of a big chest thrust by Abi. Oshi Tayoshi pushed down. That put Abi on 11 wins, and hoping that the two Ozekis would lose tonight. Atami still looking for his Kachikoshi at that time. Wakataka Kage, he faced up the acrobat Ura. Wakataka Kage out of the yusho race, but already on 9 wins, almost guaranteed a return to Sanyaku. Big touchy eye as Ura met him. Ura tried to get in and they have a bit of a thrusting battle. Ura pressured Wakataka Kage back to the bales, but Wakataka Kage responded with a slap and tries to pull Ura's arm. Wakataka Kage then does a big drive and Ura goes out and into the crowds, taking out an older man in the crowd on the first row, but they both got up and they both look all right. Despite the older man having a band-aid, I don't think he needed a second one. 10 wins for Wakataka Kage there. Really good double-digit tournament for him. 5 and 9. Pretty poor outcome for Ura, already Makekoshi. Goneyama, mathematically still there at 10 wins, faced Wakamoto Haru. Goneyama got a good start, got a left inside, tried to stop Wakamoto Haru from getting inside. They struggled in the middle for a bit. Wakamoto Haru got an outside left rear belt. He then got his right hand inside the body grip, and Yorakiri's Goneyama back and over. 9 wins Wakamoto Haru, pretty good in his Sanyaku position. 3 behind for Goneyama at 10 and 4 with that loss. Where else? Takanosho, he got stuck on 10 wins with a Tsukitoshi thrust down loss to Daisho. He just missed an important thrust at the wrong moment and paid the price there to Daisho. Daisho got his Kachikoshi for his troubles, 8 and 6. Oho got a Fusen default win over the Kyujo Kotashoho. He went out sick. I believe ankle injury is the problem there and out for 2 months. Still Makikoshi for both of them, both losing records. Tobizaru, he pulled out a Kachikoshi, I should say, against an injured Mitakayumi. Fairly easy affair there, 8 and 6. Mitakayumi still stuck on 7 wins. He needs a win on this last night for his Kachikoshi, but not sure he can achieve it with those injuries from his fall earlier in the tournament. Kodazakura, he faced off with Onosato in the first of the very important yusho race fights, second last day. Kodazakura, he got right in and left. He got a right in and a left outside belt grip. Went back to the bales, holding Onosato's belt, but he pulls, but Onosato, he stayed up and he lost his balance and got pushed out sideways. Onosato just couldn't use the grip that he had. If you're going to go belt to belt with a very balanced Kodazakura, you really do need to ensure that you have a very stable base and a lot of patience as well. Pretty much Onosato had neither. 13 wins for Kodazakura, ensuring he is one of the only 2 that can win in the yusho race. Pressure was on. Up next was Hoshoryu and Kirishima. Well, Kirishima was on wood with 7 losses. He needed both of his last 2 matches to go his way to avoid a Makikoshi and an otherwise terrible tournament. Lots of theories about his plight, but it appears it might actually be the neck injury from around March time, which is still hampering his progress. Not also helping is a change of stables, some of the lower ranked wrestlers he now has to face, a changing coaching arrangement. So yeah, not great for him, and I would think he's going to fall out of Sekiwake after this tournament. Big build up for this fight. Hoshoryu got a big double inside rear belt grip and lifted Kirishima clear off the ground, legs flailing in the air, and walked him out. Tsurudashi frontal lift out. Now, Tsurudashi is the only Kemarite which the aggressor, in this case Hoshoryu, could actually walk out of the ring and touch out of the ring before his opponent touches down. Think of it this way, Kirishima is pretty much considered shinatai, or dead body, as he is fully lifted off the ground and carried out. So as the loser, he goes out. Hoshoryu could have walked clear out of the ring as a victor, but he actually put him down just as they got to the edge of the ring. A fully off the ground former Ozeki Kirishima, a humiliation if ever there was one for a senior Sanyaku wrestler with his sort of history, to go with his humiliating defeat to Terunofuji in January, where he was absolutely yeeted into the crowd at pace by the Yokozuna in January, looking for his Ozeki promotion to Yokozuna himself. This one will hurt a lot. It was a really nasty loss. So it's set for a grandstand finish on Sunday tonight. Sanshiraku, the last day of the November Grand Sumo Tournament. Hoshoryu versus the two Ozekis, Hoshoryu versus Kodazakura. Hoshoryu having won a yusho previously, but not at Ozeki, and Kodazakura having never won a yusho, will be desperate for it. So can't wait to see where this goes tonight. Hope you can watch it. Hope you can see it live. It will be a grandstand match. Hakiwa listeners, let's learn sumo.